every great Web3 game that's ever created should be on Ronin. Thought number one, why wouldn't every game want to be on Ronin? We have the influence, we have the player liquidity that no one else has. It's not even close. What is going on, my Ronin family? Elijah here, back with another video, and today we have massive breaking news from the Ronin network. Layer 2 blockchains are coming to Ronin, introducing Ronin ZkEVM, and we're starting this with Polygon. Now, I'm going to break all of this down and why it's so important and how this changes everything for the Ronin blockchain. First and foremost, Polygon is one of the most established blockchains in crypto. It is ranked 18 on CoinMarketCap. It has a massive following and has been doing amazing things, including gaming, where it already has a handful of projects, most notably the Sandbox being number one at the top of the list. But essentially in the future, layer 2 chains are going to be able to permissionlessly deploy their games. That means there's going to be a massive influx of opportunities for developers, a massive influx of games, each probably coming with their own economic models. But it gets crazier because soon more third-party builders will have the ability to launch their own layer 2 blockchains on top of Ronin. So there's this huge partnership right now with Polygon, and in the near future, anyone can launch a layer 2. Now, I know this might sound crazy or scary, but it is a critical step for Ronin to actually become the beast that it set out to be. For a lighter read that's going to help you understand everything, you should definitely 100% read the blog post. I'm actually going to walk you through some of it right now so that we can join together on the bullishness of this. As mentioned, layer 2 chains are coming. That opens the door to faster, more accessible gaming experiences on Ronin. More games, smoother transactions. So we mentioned that Polygon's coming first, and the big step towards infinite scalability and permissionlessness. Now remember, we're in Web3. Bitcoin started out with this dream of being a permissionless system for financial security and sovereignty. Every true Web3 project aims to do that. We ideally don't want, in the long run, to be focused in a centralized way. The more decentralized, that means the more democratic, that means the more freedom, and ideally also the more security when we're talking about validators. The new chapter of ZkEVMs. Now, you're probably not familiar with that term, as are most people, and we have a nice breakdown of it here. But before we look at what ZkEVMs are, we're going to touch on a really important piece of information that developers who want to come here and join in on this, the first thing that they're going to need is 250,000 RON, and they'll be required to run a Ronin validator before launching their chain. This to me is so important. It secures the network, it locks up RON, and gives more people incentive to stake their RON, which locks up more RON. And what do we all want? We want people to be hodling this precious token. So shared security, shared rewards. This means Ronin scalability, security, decentralization all improve together. That is massive. And when we get into what ZkEVMs are, in essence, they allow the blockchain to process more transactions without revealing transaction data. They give a fun little example here, which you can read through if you like, but essentially this is a secretive layer that allows validators to prove their knowledge without revealing the data. This reduces the block space required and preserves privacy. As a result, the blockchain can process transactions with greater efficiency, and that means faster and less expensive transactions. Another key point here, today, Ronin can handle up to 40 million transactions per day. What would it take to make that number 400 million or even 4 billion? ZkEVM is the answer. So this upgrade to the infrastructure is so important if we want to become king of the gaming chains forever and ever in an undisputed manner. Imagine the Ronin mainnet as it exists today, then picture an infinite web of chains on top. That's how ZkEVMs will help Ronin scale. This is the Ronin ecosystem today. What will it look like next year? Well, my guess would be absolutely insane. For one, I think we got to this point pretty damn quickly. We already have games that have crossed the 1 million daily active user mark like Pixels. We have heavy juggernaut esports titles like Aperon coming in. Kydro is causing so much buzz. We have Genkai and Ragnarok, and of course the Axie IP games which started it all. And this is within the span of just a couple years and under the control of a core Ronin team. Much less accessibility than what we're going to have in the future for developers to come on board. So to really break this down for you guys to understand a little more clearly, you can think of it this simply. All right. The first ZkEVM chains may launch sometime in Q1 2025. At that time, builders will have the opportunity to make their own blockchains on top of Ronin. That means you might see a Pixels chain, an Aperon chain, or even a Ragnarok chain. I hope that this helps you conceptualize what's actually happening here. These game-specific chains will give builders stronger tools to create ownership-fueled experiences in their gaming universe. More chains, more games. However, these opportunities also bestow new responsibilities onto users. These builders will be able to design games, dApps, and tokens and entire ecosystems. You'll be able to transfer, swap tokens, and trade NFTs across any of these chains, and must also accept the responsibility of doing your own careful research, as users will remain 100% responsible for their on-chain actions. This point here is really important, and it's something I'm going to talk about at the end of the video when I want to look at potential risks, things that we need to be aware of as we take this major step into the future of Ronin. But for now, a quick summary of these benefits. We have infinite block space, seamless cross-chain experience between all of those chains. That means you'll be able to tap into the Mavis market or Katana from any of them, which is absolutely insane. Economic alignment, so higher staking rewards since the layer 2 sequencer fees go to the validator running the layer 2 chain. Starting a ZkEVM chain requires 250,000 RON. That's a big deal, potentially increasing demand and utility for RON. Can't stress that point enough. And more games, of course, so important. This allows teams to come in with deeper technical needs that would require them to have their own distinct chain. And permissionless deployment. Anyone will be able to deploy their games to Ronin, allowing for more competition and faster onboarding. Here they talk a bit about the economic revolution that is happening within crypto gaming. 17 million of these gamers now have crypto wallets, with the majority using DeFi and transferring crypto for the first time on Ronin. This is a victory that stems from a unique strategy. We started with a single game, Axie. This focused approach allowed us to dominate and excel in a niche. It bootstrapped a core community. Look at us. There's no one else out there that has our content creators. There's no one else that has our passion. There's no one else that knows gaming like we know gaming. And Apple, which started with personal computers, gradually broadening. This is the same thing. The scaling is happening. Nintendo started with Mario. Look at it now. Similarly, ZkEVM will help Ronin expand its scope beyond servicing a smaller number of quality games to becoming the backbone of the entire Web3 gaming industry. Every great Web3 game that's ever created should be on Ronin. With ZkEVM, this future is now within reach. Now, on this last note of every great Web3 game existing on Ronin, I'm going to just sort of roll off of that and give some of my thoughts before wrapping up this video. Thought number one, why wouldn't every game want to be on Ronin? We have the influence, we have the player liquidity that no one else has. It's not even close. So when you come to Ronin, you kind of get this opportunity to be embraced by the community, or at least prove yourself to gamers and do it a lot faster. If you just go launch yourself somewhere else that doesn't have the same kind of following, being seen is almost impossible in Web3. It's super hard. So Ronin is the clear choice for that reason by itself. And then, obviously we can look deeper into the fact that we have the greatest games already. That's why we have all these players. The games have been great. People love playing them across the board. The writing is on the wall there. I think Polygon jumping in as the first one is amazing. I think that, this collab just makes so much sense as a launch pad considering the history of both chains. And if we keep winning and dominating, there are arguments for some of the other biggest IPs in the space, like, I don't know, Bored Ape Yacht Club. I know they have ApeCoin. I know they want their own chain, but they can actually have their own chain and run it on Ronin. And it's a win-win because they immediately tap into real gamers. Whoever's buying apes right now, it's still like they don't have player liquidity. So I'm trying to think about, the ways that we keep winning and the ways we keep attracting everyone to Ronin, and we make it really undeniable that this is the place that games need to be. And as long as we keep pushing forward as a movement, I really believe that that's the future. Now, I do want to talk briefly about some risks here and some of my question marks around it. This really opens things up. It starts to become less about Sky Mavis as a small team cherry picking games and more about like a bit of a free-for-all in the future. Like anything can happen. And there's exciting possibilities there. There's also risks. And I believe we need to look out for each other as a community. We need to become the ones who are doing the vetting and protecting ourselves and, making sure that games that deserve the attention attention get it. And again, I don't really know how much Sky Mavis will have their hands on this in the beginning. I'm assuming quite a bit to make sure things stay regulated, but it's a question mark, right? Now, it's a big deal that anyone can't just show up for no cost and launch a game or a chain. They have to put up 250,000 RON. As of now, that's around $500,000 to get your foot in the door, and I think that's great. So some projects, as they mentioned, might start to run their own chains sooner rather than later. Obviously, there can be hiccups as we embark on this new journey, but overall, it is massively bullish in my opinion. And you have to think about Ethereum, right? I actually went through this thought process myself. Ethereum, one of the most beloved chains. It's the rank 2 chain in the world. There's diehard passion for it. And that is throughout a lot of crazy shit that's gone down there. So we had the ICOs in 2017. 99% turned out to be utterly useless. We also had the PFP boom in 2021. Most of those projects are completely in the dumps right now. Probably a small select few will make it out of this bear market, but nobody's purely hating Ethereum for those things. I mean, maybe some Bitcoin maximalists, but other than that, we accept this in a sense around Web3. So with Ronin going to this next step, we need to protect ourselves. We need to educate the new people. We need to be great at onboarding like we always have as a team, as a unit, as players and content creators, so that we keep things clean. Here we go, guys. This is nuts. I'm so excited for what's to come. I hope you guys, maybe understand this announcement a little bit better after watching this video. I hope it's made you more bullish on the Ronin ecosystem overall. Let's just buckle up. We're not in a bull market yet. One day, I believe we will be. I believe we'll be full blast. And I believe Ronin will be one of the projects that makes the biggest noise out of everything that rises up when that happens. And that's just my perspective on all of this. Hope you guys are loving the games out there in the ecosystem. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Let me know what content you want to see from me next. Hope you enjoyed the video. Love you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.